Welcome back to Cooking with Vino. We're making some Sunday night pizza, so I figured I would pull you guys in, show you what's going on. So, I had made some pizza dough, which is on our website, the recipe. Check it out, we also have a video. I made this a few days ago and I froze it. It's so awesome to freeze, it works great. So what you wanna do, if you do make it ahead of time, is you want to take it out of the freezer and bring it to room temp. You're not gonna be able to roll it out if it's not at room temp. It's super pliable right now, but it's even gonna be better later. So, get a glass of wine, let it defrost, and definitely room temp, and then just let it chill before you try to roll it out. Anyways, I have the grill going because we're gonna do a grilled pizza. It's one of Jay and my favorite things to do, pizza-wise, I guess. Tonight we're gonna do a roasted red pepper. So I have a red pepper that I've washed, and I also kind of rubbed some olive oil on it. Just helps the grill get going with the pepper, get some grill marks. We really wanna get it almost charred on the outside, which I'll show you in a little bit. Anyways, besides the roasted red pepper, I'm gonna put some steak that I also had in the freezer. It's almost defrosted. I'm gonna sous vide this. I'm gonna let it rest for 10 minutes, and then we're going to grill it so it gets some nice grill flavor going on, and then put it on the pizza. You'll see all this in a minute. And we're gonna do some mushrooms, and I don't know, we'll get there, but maybe we'll add some extra stuff. Anyways, grab a glass of wine, maybe get these ingredients, and then I'll meet you at the grill in a few minutes. Cheers. Cheers. Hey guys, okay, so I already told you I have a big pepper. You can do this with any pepper, but I love roasted red peppers. I have this with a little bit of olive oil in it. My grill is smoking hot, and I'm basically just going to put it on the grill. A few minutes each side. You really honestly want it to get charred. You can hear it kind of sizzling and stuff. Let's see what the grill's at. The grill is at 400 right now. It's gonna go back up to about 500. You're gonna wanna rotate it every few minutes, and you really want a charred pepper. I'll show you what it looks like in just a minute. So, get a glass of wine, and I'm right back. Hey guys, okay, so we're checking on the pepper. I don't know if you can see this, but this is what you want. People might think that's burnt. Basically, we'll show you this, but in a minute, we're going to, well not in a minute, when it's done, charring all the way around, we're actually gonna wrap it with plastic wrap, and then we're gonna use a paper towel about 20 minutes later to remove the skin. So the flavor is going all the way inside. This is not burnt, this is actually what we want. So we're gonna keep this for another maybe 5 minutes, and we'll see you in a minute. Okay, this is what you want. See how it looks charred all the way around? That's just equals flavor. So it's about 10 minutes or so. Anyways, leave it on until it looks like this, and then we're gonna put it in our bowl. We're gonna wrap it with plastic. We're gonna let it sit for about 10 minutes, and then just take a paper towel and wipe the skin off. I'll show you that. So we'll get there in a minute. Do this and meet you back there. Hey guys, okay, so I said earlier we're gonna put some steak on this pizza. So we're gonna sous vide the steak. It sounds really hard, it's not. It's really easy. Basically, we're gonna season this steak on both sides. We're gonna put it into the plastic bag. We're gonna stick it in the water. The biggest thing with sous vide is you wanna make sure the bag has no air in it. So there's a water trick that you can do. Basically just put the bag in almost all the way to the top. The water pressure pushes all the air out, and you're good to go. I have this set at 115 because we're gonna let it cook for about 45 minutes to an hour in this water bath, basically, that keeps the water at 115 exactly. And then we're gonna take it out, let it rest, and then we're gonna put it on the pizza and in the grill. So it's gonna get a little bit above medium rare. Anyways, I'm gonna finish seasoning this. I'm gonna stick it in the bath, and then we're gonna wait 45 minutes, and then we'll get cooking. See you soon. Hey guys, okay. So we got the sous vide going. We already chopped the roasted red pepper. Again, I just took a paper towel and wiped the skin off, and then chopped it. Here's our pizza dough. So it's pretty much room temperature. Now, I don't know how to do any of those fancy tossing things, but basically, I just have a quick tip for you. When you start to roll this out, if it like resists at all, which sounds really funny, but when you're doing it, you'll know what I mean. If it just kind of stops, it's not going out anymore, you just gotta let it go. Basically, it's the gluten and it's not ready to be rolled out. So you can do it by hand. You can get a rolling pin. You can do it a lot of different ways, but basically, it's like kind of right now, like it doesn't really want to go much bigger than this. Take a second, take a sip of wine, give it 3 minutes, and try it again. You can do this as thick or as thin as you want. It's really just preference. We're gonna do it on the grill, so we're gonna get it thinner. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. Pizza's still gonna taste delicious if it's square or triangle or whatever. It doesn't really matter. But when it starts doing that and it's a little bit set and it doesn't want to move anymore, let it chill a few minutes as I get a glass of wine, hang out, and try again in about 3 minutes. Anyways, we got that going, we got this going. We're gonna make our white sauce in a minute, and then we're gonna assemble it all and eat some pizza. Cheers. Hey guys. Okay, so we're gonna make the white sauce for the pizza. We're gonna start, we got our pan here. We'll start with 2 tablespoons of butter. Doesn't have to be exact, but ish. And then 1 tablespoon of olive oil. We're gonna let that melt for a second. You want this? I got it on medium. That should be good. You just wanna melt it together before you start getting anything else going on. The next thing we're gonna do is put in our garlic and onion. So you just want to get this kind of melted just a little bit. We'll go through the ingredients as we kind of add it here. Alright, it's not melted, but it's at least got it going. So we're going to go ahead and add the onion and the garlic. And we're going to cook that for a couple minutes. Get it going here. You don't need to season it at this point. But if you are going to add any dry seasoning, you actually could add it. So I take it back, you should add it. So I'm adding some Italian seasoning from one of our favorite places, Mazzaro's. A tip that I like to do is this isn't just Italian dried seasoning. When you put it into the pot, squeeze it between your fingers. It's actually going to release some of the oils and help it open up a little bit. So I'm gonna add some now and almost kind of let it, not toast, but let it kind of come alive here with the onion and the garlic. We got the butter in there and we have the olive oil in there as well. So it's just gonna cook down for a minute. So we have our fat, which is the olive oil and the butter. The next thing that we're gonna do in a minute is we're gonna make a roux. A roux is essentially fat and flour most of the time. So that's gonna allow the sauce to thicken and become nappe or sauce consistency. So that's what we're gonna do next. So I have 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. I'm just gonna add it into the pot. Now, essentially you kind of want it to look like sand. Now there's veggies in here, so it's not really gonna be obvious, but you do wanna cook that flour out for a few minutes because if you don't, you're gonna taste the flour and you definitely don't wanna taste it. So just let that chill for a minute, cook it 3 to 5 minutes or so. This is the Vino. And then we're gonna add some more liquid to it. You can add milk. I don't have milk, so I'm using heavy cream. It's the same thing. It's gonna be a little bit more rich, which is gonna be delicious on the pizza. It really doesn't matter. Cream or milk here, about a cup. So we added the cream. Like I said, you can do milk. I also have some Parmesan cheese here. Now, I'm being lazy. Normally I would grate it, but it's Sunday. I'm drinking some wine. I'm not gonna grate it. Anyways, the thickness of the cheese when it melts, plus the roux that we made, is really gonna make it into a sauce. So I don't know if you can see this, but it's getting pretty thick, which is what we want. And as the cheese melts, it will thin out a little bit, but it's gonna be thick and luscious. Now you don't have to do this, but Jay and I really love spicy stuff, so I'm gonna add some crushed red pepper Again, so far in here we have butter, olive oil, we have some Italian seasoning, we have the heavy cream or milk, we have onion and garlic, we just added some Parmesan cheese, and then we added also the crushed red pepper, which I'm gonna add a little bit more of. So basically, it comes together real fast. So this is pretty much done as soon as it melts. I don't know if you can see that, but it's pretty much melting. So we're gonna just basically turn the heat off. We're gonna keep it to the side, and we're gonna assemble this on our pizza in just a few minutes, but this is pretty much done. It's come together, the flour did its job, the cheese did its job. It looks delicious. We could basically just get spoons and eat it now, but we're not going to. We're gonna put it on the pizza. Anyways, we'll be right back, and we're gonna assemble the pizza. Okay, so we sous vide this steak at 115 degrees for 45 minutes. Now what you're gonna wanna do, open the bag, take it out. It looks weird now, don't worry. We're gonna dry this. We're gonna let it sit for 10 minutes, and we're gonna dry it with a paper towel, and then we're gonna grill it. And then we're gonna top it with pizza. So we'll be right back. Hey guys, okay, so we are grilling the pizza. Our grill is very hot. I've oiled the dough a little bit. Is that a perfect circle? Who cares? Okay. So, basically, with a little bit of a skill. Feels weird to do, but don't worry about it. It's not gonna be perfect. It doesn't matter. We oiled it so it doesn't stick to the grill. We're just gonna close it for a minute. It's gonna stay for 1 or 2 minutes. We're gonna flip it, and then we're gonna top it with all the yummy stuff we have inside, and then we're gonna put it back on for like 2 or 3 minutes. So we'll see in a second. All right, so we rolled our dough out. You saw us make the sauce. We have some mushrooms here. We have some cheese. We put the sauce down with the roasted red peppers and the steak that after we sous vide, Riley wants some. After we sous vide, we grilled just for a minute. Now we're gonna just put this whole thing right on the grill. So our grill's at 500 right now. We're gonna close it. It's only gonna take about 3 minutes. So stay tuned and wait for the big reveal. Cheers, it's pizza time. Okay, so we just pulled this beautiful pizza from the grill. Again, it's got our white pizza sauce. It's got our roasted red peppers, our steak. We have cheese. We got a little Italian seasoning, and we also have some crushed red. We also have some leftover sauce, so we're totally gonna dip our crust in there. But thank you so much for hanging out with us. I hope your pizza is as delicious as this. Cheers to the weekend, and cheers to cooking with Vino. See you next time.